So the process to fixing what I need to do is I need to take the seat off, and take the gas tank off, take the carburetor off, take all my pipe off, drain the coolant, pull the spark plug, pull the head, pull the power valve under the side over there, which is right down here, and then take the cylinder nuts off, pull the cylinder off. You know, it's just gonna be I wouldn't say nightmare, but I didn't want to tear into it this far. But you know, part of owning dirt bikes. One pointer I have for all you guys at home mechanics or doing this the first time is whenever you take your bolts out, put it back where you got them. Almost a surefire way to never lose them. So with removing the carburetor, I got my air boot loose, I got my subframe bolts out, except for the top one. Then all I do is take it, lift up, and then boom, there you go. Now I have access to pull the carburetor at the back. Since I am going to be removing this probably for 2 months, I find it easier to just remove this throttle body piece, take this top off, pull the slide out, pull the carb out, stick the carb somewhere safe, and then I wrap the slide in a paper towel and then dangle it up here. That way it's out of the way and you don't have to worry about the weight of the carburetor pulling on your throttle cable all the time. Really, I probably should pull my skid plate off, but I can get in there without having to take the skid plate off, loosen the drain bolt. I may have to take it off when I start rebuilding everything, but crack that open, pull it off, boom, you get drainage. Come out the reeds. Bottom's a little carboned up. I mean, focus in on there maybe. Don't really see any cracks, but you know what? It may not hurt to get a new set of reeds because these have been there for a little while. Oh, in case you're wondering, yes, that's Prestone coolant. I don't run anything. I don't run engine ice anymore. It's cheap. It's aluminum safe. 50/50 premix, already ready to go, and I've never had an overheating issue. The next thing I pulled was this mount that mounts the head to the frame. Put all the bolts back in there and stick her up. And then I already got these loose, so I'll be taking this head off next. Copper washers. I think the manual says replace them, but I've had definitely way more flattened washers in the past before. As long as they don't look worn, in my eyes, they're still reusable. Got some of the nuts, washers down there. This is all my brittleness of tools, but slides right up. Should slip right into that little groove, and you pull it right out. Two. Pulls off. Make sure to use those. Honestly, the head doesn't look that bad. Cool in there, but if I had a flashlight, I got a flashlight, so yeah, you can see if I can zoom in. That's my garage alarm got set. Focus. Here's some, it's like scoring right there. Whatnot. And, the rest of the cylinder doesn't look bad, but I mean, it says 36 hours on it. Well, actually, almost 38. So it's a Wassner piston. I was gonna hold off until about 50 hours until I pulled this back piece off last night, my reeds, and see, you can kind of see it. The cylinder's got some marks on it, but if you go up with the piston, right up in there, there's a lot of scarring, so don't want to risk it, and it's possible the rings are messed up. So taking the pipe, when you're taking the pipe off, there's a bolt there and a bolt right down there. Now I like to use this little hooky guy. It's cheap, like set from Harbor Freight, and let's grab it with that, pull it out. Sometimes I use pliers if I don't have any hook stuff, and then it kicks down out of the way real quick, and it should pop right off. There you go. I do run some RTV on here, just because it's not perfect to the cylinder, so I don't want to leak. Alright, that's off. Cut this off, got the power valve on the other side. Let's see if I can get it off. Is there anything? Probably pull these exhaust springs off real quick. I'll pause it. Alright, exhaust springs off. Okay. Pull this up. Oh, this is in the way. Hold you my legs. Aftermarket silicone things. Boom. There we go. Get that out the way. Pulled out the other side because I got nothing in the way but my Kickstarter. Alright. There she is. Got her off. Yeah, there's a scoring right there. You can kind of see it all on that side. So, what was wrong? I'll get this piston out, look at it in a minute. Well, I figured out why I was leaking so much. These are all loose. Yeah, I didn't even tighten this one. It's all loose. So, makes sense why I was spooging so much. Probably could. I don't know. I don't know much about the power valve. All I know, it gives you power when it turns on, and it's a mess if you have the wrong oil ratio. And then these bolts, I'm probably going to swap them out for some like hex head, just because, God forbid, these little guys get stripped out. So got it off. That's all the oil that's in there. Look at that. Look at this. That's juicy in there. Based off with all this oil and the symptoms I was having with my jetting, I have a feeling my crank seals are bad. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I will be swapping out my crank seals once I get everything back. Or actually, probably before I get everything back. That way I can throw this replated top end in. And I gotta pull these studs. Never pulled studs before, so that'll be fun. Alright, so I got this side out, this clip. You gotta have a little hooky thing. Take it in. Kind of do this little boop, pull it out. And then this side looks like it might be harder. Zoom out a little bit. Let's see if I can do it with holding this. Like right about there. Kind of see it coming. Oop, just like that. Look at that. Clip. Now these aren't really spring loaded anymore because they're worn down, but some might be, so be careful. But get the little clip out, and hopefully the wrist pin's still okay. Nope. This will be fun. So I'm using a screwdriver, just tapping it ever so slightly to get it out. You don't want to do too much force because you preferably wouldn't want to do any force. If you can help it, 'cause you want to ruin the rod. And then hopefully she just pull out. There you go. This doesn't look that bad. It should slide right up and out. And then pull that baby out. But let's see here. So there's nicks here. This is the intake side. I'm gonna guess it was probably some piston slap. And this is a Wassner piston. You can see the gouging there. The exhaust side had some scraping there, so something got in there, I think, and scraped it, because it shouldn't be gouged like that deep. It's a few thousandths deep. While I was away doing some stuff, I also got this pretty much, I think, completely disassembled. I just gotta get this off. Got my parts bag here. This will be fun. We put them back together. Check the so I put it back together. I've checked the old service manual. Make sure it's accurate. But that won't be for another like few months. Alright, I got, to recap, power valves out. I did get these bad boys out of there, which actually, for these little caps, this is the right, this is the left. And then these are what slides in the holes for your arms for those little guys with pitchforks. Those are sliding there. So, well, everything's kind of sorted out here. Now I'm pulling studs. Got this one kind of broken loose. There you go. Double nut it and come right out. There it is. All she wrote and all the pins out. Now let's get her sent off and replated. Already have new piston and gaskets coming in 3 days. Way ahead of the curve, considering this is going to take 2 months. So let's get to sit with this stuff for funsies.